Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again I'm coming to you with another field strip video. And today's field strip is going to be on the Henry Big Boy lever action rifle in .44 Magnum. And I know this is not the type of gun you usually see me review or do field strips on, but I did do a range report on this gun, and before I return it to its owner, I always like to deep clean the rifles and make sure they are in tip-top shape, just because I want to show them the respect, because I am honored that they let me borrow them for reviews on my channel. Now, when it comes to a gun like this, really, for the most part, when it comes to cleaning, if you just open the action, you can get into the receiver there. You can also put a brush down through the muzzle. However, you might want to go a little bit further than that, and that's what I'm here to show you today. The only tool that you might need will be a screwdriver. Now, I think it is really important that if you are going to work on firearms, that you do invest in a quality firearms screwdriver set that has all the different types of heads, because you don't want to damage any of the screws on your gun. Luckily for this, we're only going to need to take out one screw, and it's going to be the screw right here for the lever. But before we do this, let's of course safety check the gun. I've already showed you this gun is empty. There is nothing in the chamber. And we're going to go to the front of the firearm, and we are going to take out the magazine as well, because you don't have any ammunition in the gun. You always want to make sure it is clear and safe. And there is the magazine. We'll set that aside. And now, of course, we will open the firearm once again, visually inspect that chamber, and it looks like we are good. So the next thing we're going to do is take that screwdriver, and as I said, make sure you have the proper head. Take time to fit it, because you don't want to damage any screw heads. So we're going to go ahead and take out this screw right here on the lever. It should just be in there hand tight almost. We'll go ahead and unscrew that. Then we will take that screw out. It looks like that. See, it's a little bit different than your normal screw. We'll set that aside, and now we can pull the lever out of the receiver. We'll put that aside as well. And now you should be able to either pull or push out the bolt in the back. So we'll go ahead and pull this out just like that. And there is your bolt. Very easy to come out. The other thing you might have to take out, especially if you're going to clean the inner part of the receiver or put any type of brush through the bore coming through the receiver, is you are going to have to take out the ejector. And the ejector is actually a little spring in here, and I just got it loose. If you just turn the receiver a little bit, it will pop out. Sometimes it's stuck in there, and you know if it's in there if this hole actually looks like it has a pin in it. And as you see, it doesn't, so that ejector is loose in there. It should just come right out the back, and there it is. And this is the little nub that will go through the receiver that locks it into place, and it is held in place by the pressure of the spring alone. And that is it. That allows you to get into the receiver from the back and down the bore. You can clean inside the receiver. I don't think you really have to go much further than this. So this is what I'm going to call as the field strip. So there's your bolt, your ejector, your lever, the pin for the lever, or the screw for the lever, and your magazine. All right, so let me go ahead and wipe all this stuff down, and let's put this rifle back together. All right, so we got all the parts of this rifle wiped down, cleaned up, and ready to go back together. We're going to start with the ejector. We're going to put it through the ejection port, and once again we have that little nub which is going to go through that little hole that is drilled in the receiver there. There's also a channel in the ejection port that this is going to go in. So I go in through it this way, make sure it goes into that channel. Then I'm going to take my pinky and slide it back, and when it gets to a certain point, it's going to snap in to that hole that is drilled, and right there it went. So it's in there. I will now pull out my pinky very slowly. Then I'm going to insert the bolt from the rear. And you gotta make sure that you put it in the right way, because this is a rounded bolt, and I'm sure it can start in the wrong direction, then it's gonna get jammed. Just make sure the front part's going in the front, the top part's facing the top, bottom part's facing the bottom. So we'll go ahead and start that bolt in the rear, And once it gets started, I will then put my pinky back in the ejection port, hold down that ejector to make sure it doesn't pop out. And there we go, it's around the bolt now, and it will stay in. Then I push that bolt in about halfway. Now I'll take the lever and we're going to insert it through the bottom of the receiver into the part of the bolt that is milled out for the lever. Start it right there, push it up. I might have to move it around a little bit, line up the hole where the screw goes. I will start the screw with just my finger. Make sure it goes all the way through. Go as far as I can, then I'll take the screwdriver, and you do not have to tighten this down very tight at all. We'll just go about that far. And make sure everything's lined up and straight. And that's as tight as you need to go on that. Then we'll go to the front of the rifle. We will then insert the magazine, put that into place, just like that. Then we'll go back here and do a function check of the rifle. And it seems like we are good to go. So there is a field strip and disassembly for cleaning of a Henry Big Boy in .44 Magnum. I hope this video helps somebody in the future. This gun is a lot of fun to shoot, and it's actually pretty easy to take apart and clean. And if you like doing that, it's actually a fun gun to take apart and clean. So as I said, I hope this helps somebody in the future. So, as always, thanks for watching.